Hey, it's Greg Jameson here from Web Stores Limited, and I want to talk to you today about how to keep your emails from going into the spam folder and how to get them delivered to your inbox, to your customer's inbox. And the first thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you build your own email list. This is absolutely critical. It's one of the things that I tell people all the time, and yet so many people don't listen to me and they go out and they rent an email list or they buy an email list and then try to email to it. This is the worst thing that you can possibly do. And the reason is that all email service providers create what's called a reputation score. And if you don't get enough deliverability on it, you don't get enough people to open it, you don't get enough people to click on it, your reputation score gets hurt. And they, as a result of that, deliver even fewer of your emails in the future. So never buy a list, never rent a list. It's a bad idea. You want to grow your own organic email list. I've done lots of videos on lead magnets. I've done lots of videos on how to grow your email list, different blog posts on this as well. And that's what you want to do. It takes longer, it's hard work, but you are going to find that you have a much greater chance of not only ending up in somebody's inbox instead of in their spam folder, but that they're actually going to open and read their email list. Now, the second thing that you can do is when people do sign up for your list is to provide what's called a double opt-in. Basically, they register for your email list. They get an email that then has a link on it that says, it looks like you signed up for our email list. If you intended to do that, please verify here. And they click on the link and then they get added to your list. So that's a great way to make sure that people really do want to be on your list and they really are going to open and read your emails. Another thing that you can do is to use a third-party email service provider. It's a whole lot easier, obviously, to just send emails out from your website, but those frequently don't have as good of a deliverability rate as if you're using a third-party sending service like SendGrid. So I recommend that you do that if you want to really get your emails delivered. And then send content that's relevant to your list. Don't just send out emails to send out emails. Make sure that whatever email you're sending out, that you're able to answer the question, if I was the person getting this email, would I want to receive it and would the information be relevant to me? And that may involve actually segmenting your list depending upon what industry you're in and how you want to address the people in your list. The next thing is to clean up your email list on a regular basis. I actually just deleted 10,000 emails from my email list because of the fact that they simply had not opened an email from me in the last 6 months. They hadn't unsubscribed. I would have preferred that they did that, but since they weren't opening my emails and not reading them, I took them off the email list myself to improve my deliverability rates. And, you know, people stop responding to your emails for all kinds of reasons. They can certainly resubscribe if you do this, but I recommend that you really do a good job of maintaining your email list and keeping it clean. The other thing that you should do is when you're using a third-party email sending service like SendGrid is go into your account and actually monitor your reputation. If it ever drops below about 90%, then I would take a serious look at why that's happening and make sure that it doesn't happen in the future. I actually maintain mine at about 99%. I'd love for it to be 100, but that's obviously unrealistic. So the important thing is monitor your reputation and make sure that the emails that you are sending out are ones that people actually do want to receive. The next thing is obviously to comply with your internet privacy laws. There's all kinds of privacy laws out there, from the CAN-SPAM Act to the European Union's law of GDPR. Make sure that you're complying with those. Utilize spam checkers. Before you send out an email, run it through a spam checking program to see if it's going to be something that's actually going to get through the spam checking devices. Now, the internet service provider of your recipient is actually going to be the final checkpoint to make sure that that gets through to them, and you have no control over that. But if you run a email through a spam checking program before you send it out, it makes it a little bit more likely that it will get there. So these are just some of the ways that you can make sure that your email gets into your customer's inbox instead of their spam folder. And I recommend that you actually take all of this really seriously as it applies to your email list and your customer base.